Jumping live right now. I'm gonna quickly check Discord if that's the same. Oh yeah, it's the same link. Okay, so it's gonna be the same live stream.
I think we're here. I think it's working.
Did you
Is it
put?
working?
Did you? Nice. Hello everyone. Now I can actually chat with you, and then when you ask me a question, I actually see it in only 3 seconds. Stupid me. Wrong latency.
Well, at least that works. So, hello, and you weren't 400 million last time I looked.
No, I've. Well, actually, funny you should mention. I've been boosting my research power a lot, at least 40 mil. I said 50 earlier, but I think it's 40 since 300.
100. You have more research points than I have total.
True. Because no, there was someone from the old Drakenheim Alliance, Perry, and he was like 250 million power or something, and he had 160 million rating research, and I was like, motherfucker.
You had to beat someone. You couldn't be beaten by someone in your alliance that badly.
That's true.
No, I've only got 90 million in research. Yeah, I got a long way to go.
90 million? Oh, 90. Oh,
yeah,
I heard 19. I was like, what's wrong?
19. I don't think you can get tier 4 with only 19 million. And hello, Kelsey.
That's Lord Command, by the way. Lord Command? Where are my viewers? Did everyone leave? No.
We got 9 people watching now.
Did the stream just restart, or did you actually have to refresh? I don't know.
I may have scared them off. I think it's probably my fault.
True. It's quickly drinking something. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually in my advanced military. And since I am so busy training the royals, I want to clear this one. First of all, I had the new procedures. So that gives me a 6th deployment. And it ends with another new procedures, which would give me the 7th deployment. But also, I get a load of talent archives now. Which I'm just...
It's looking a lot shinier than mine. Oh god, I only have 2. I have War and Peace. That's all I've figured out so far. What are your different talent archives? Upgrading, I presume, is research. Gathering, research. What are Ravagers, Berserkers, Paladins?
Yeah, it's just upgrading is actually research, construction, and troop training. So everything possibly needed for upgrading. I just upgraded my castle, so I have 2 spare talent points. I should set those somewhere, but it's not really important because I actually have everything I need. No idea where to put them in. Stone production, nice.
I normally just put it a bit more into army carrying capacity, so I need to send out less troops when I'm stealing the level 4 and 5 gold mints from other alliances.
That would work. For that, I usually have gathering, which is just entirely focused.
True, you're flexing there with your 6 different gathering types.
True. Okay, so let's save that as well. Ravagers are spearmen focused. Entirely spearmen, some infantry attack as well.
I'm guessing berserkers. Well, berserkers have to be cavalry, don't they? Or that because you have paladins after that. You didn't put your paladins as cavalry and your berserkers as infantry, did you?
Berserkers is actually only attack and nothing on defense and health. So cavalry attack, spearman attack, infantry attack, and yeah, everything attack.
Right, so that's when you need to break a defensive position, like in Alliance Conquest. It's one of the first, probably your first or second hit you put in just to deal a lot of damage. I think the second rally probably best. First rally you want to tank, reduce them a little bit, and then second rally do as much damage as possible, knock them out if possible.
Yeah, pretty much like that, yeah. And Paladins is actually focused on stalwart defense of my infantry. And actually the other way around, actually everything focused on army defense and on infantry. And I don't know why I call the Paladins. And production is just simply production. Which I never used in my life. So we have a question of Zeno Xomi, and he actually messaged me, and I showed you the message as well. And
Yep, about the commander's stats. Apparently Lord Commander says I sound a bit weird, but it should be okay. How's it coming through your end, Reaper?
it was a bit metallic at first, but now it's pretty much perfect.
So, commander stats. There's a lot of how do I put this diplomatically?
See, well, he watched your guide several
a lot
times
of use, yeah.
and didn't get enough from it. And more in the trend of what commanders are perfect together in the sense of what would give the perfect synergy. And I think he has problems clearing elite or something. I saw he's level 60, so he probably has 60 commanders. So that's not the problem. Because often I get the message that people actually can't beat something and they're actually trying it with level 54 commanders and they don't.
Well, you'd be surprised how much difference the level 60 makes. Because the most important thing for upgrading the attributes and your stats of any commanders are the items you equip. Those 6 items give you the sort of the largest individual boost once you fill them in. And a lot of them are blocked sort of behind the level 60. Just something stupid. Before I got to level 60, when I was level 59, there was only one rebel group that I was able to do in... I was able to do a level 3 rebel group in 3 shots normally. Once I got to level 60, half of them I can do in 2 shots, which is saving me over 1,000 motivation when I go for the hit.
Yeah.
So those are sort of one of the most important items, level 60. It's surprising how much difference just that one level does. As for combinations, when you're looking at commanders, if we have a look at the stats of each individual commander, should we just look at, you have Russell up at the moment, don't you, or Mango, or...
Yeah, I just opened Mango because I see some questions popping in as well.
Yeah. People asking just quickly, why is Mango so popular? Mango is very popular because he's, well, for one, he's free and relatively easy to get the medals for. You just get him by playing normally on Alliance Conquest. Most people probably have him purple, if not gold, by now. And I think his best thing is he's a very high attack dealing hero.
Yeah, his basic attack is really high.
While he doesn't have the highest health, he's actually... I would more put him in the second row if you're taking an awful lot of damage. Against single targets, you'd never put him in the tank position because of his low health, but his attack is extremely high.
And he reduces defense as well.
That is true. And he also pairs rather well with buffing heroes, which I suppose is leading a bit more into your question, Zeno. One of the combinations that you should always look for is if we go to Jeanne. You have Jeanne?
I'm going to Jeanne. I can maybe use Mango later, by the way, for the last elite trial to show there.
Yeah, well, we can show Mango combines very well with Jeanne, which I'll explain why in a second. Especially against infantry commanders, seeing as they're both cavalry. But Jeanne is nearly a must-have because of her buffing effects. You need to understand how all the stats fit together and how they work. One of Jeanne's skills is the fact that she adds 150 strategy to allies at gold at level 60, which we should be showing you here. 150 strategy can really depend on the hero you're buffing. If we have a look such as a hero such as Sheila. Sheila to start off with. Sheila's basic strategy, if you look at the stats, is 882. So if you add 150 to that, that's what, 15% extra?
Yep. And if you look at the skills, she does over 10,000 damage, but that's only with that 800 strategy. So if you add those 150, you actually already over 12,000 damage.
It's true, but you're only adding 2,000. So you're only getting a 15% bonus. But if we look at, say, Russell's strategy is only 254.
I can't find him.
He's on you. Yeah, Russell's strategy is only 254. That means if you add 150, you're getting 60, 70% bonus on your skills. Now, considering that all the heroes are supposed to sort of be balanced without buffs, that means Russell becomes an awful lot stronger. I mean, he doesn't do as much damage as Sheila, but he's a tank. And with the extra 60% damage, Russell's damage dealing abilities will be doing, what, 7,000, 7,500, even 8,000 damage in one go. Not to mention he'll be healing up to 5,000.
1k every second for 5 seconds.
That is ludicrous. Not to mention that his battle hardened ability, which adds 200 to command as the defense and health stat, will also get buffed by his strategy buff, as long as it procs first.
And the same for his heavily armored. Damage taken has a 15% chance to not only restore 3,000 health, but actually restore 5,000 health.
Exactly. Anything in green gets changed. So even the surprise that can deal up to 7,000 damage to targets every 9 attacks reduces the target strategy, it says by 43, but that gets buffed as well by buffing his strategy, meaning you reduce it by 70, 80, which can be extremely beneficial against tanks because tanks seem to have less strategy, so their abilities will be weak in the enemies. So it's those sort of combinations you want to look for at the start. Strategy buffs with low strategy and so on. Tyrion's another good example of that, if we're going to have a look at Tyrion.
But he's not gold. I don't want to show him until it's gold.
No? You have him purple?
Yeah, purple. Oh, I'm so slacking on it.
I've got him purple as well.
Yeah, I've been struggling with Tyrion a bit. I've been trying to put him into formations. He just comes a little bit too short because he of course he gives a boost, but in a way it's 55 is just not sufficient to really make a difference. For example, when you put a very high damage dealer in his place, that will benefit you a lot more than that little buff he gives to everyone. So I've been trying to put him on rebel leaders, etc. I can't maximize his potential. Maybe when he's gold, it will work better.
Well, when he's gold, you really only want to use him when he's gold because his abilities are just that little bit stronger. But the most important thing to know about Tyrion is he increases attributes for all allies. All allies and all attributes. So you're talking the prowess, command, and strategy. So it's a buff on every one of those. Yes. So there's a lot of heroes which some might have a low strategy, high strategy, but they have low prowess and command, and it can take a surprisingly a weakish hero and give them a general buff everywhere. If we look,
yeah, I kind of want to go into Ian's question. Sorry, Ian.
Yeah, go on.
Would you always use Russell in the tank position when you have a Jeanne paired with him? And you have the last elite trial, of course. And that would be, normally you would just go the standard stun formation. But it would be very good, actually, to try a formation where you use Jeanne and Russell, especially because Haley is defense infantry. And at Mango, because you know he's going to reduce defense. But then you also want to make sure that Mango is, for example, behind.
In the back row. Well, here, what I would do is I'd probably put Mango in the place of Robert because he has the advantage against the infantry in the front row, allowing you to collapse into Haley a bit quicker if you have Mango. That way you can still keep your difference.
Oh, here.
And now, if you needed to go pure stun as well, you could move Sansa in the place of Robert and have Rob in the front line, although in doing so you will lower your damage output. So it depends whether you want stuns to be a bit more effective. Whenever I'm attacking infantry on the map, not sort of the Weirwood, but on the map, I always put Russell in the front with Jeanne if I'm attacking infantry, because of the bonus. The duo works really well together. But Jeanne's strategy buff also works with other tanks. For example, Chris only has 400 of strategy. Russell may have 256, which is the option, but Garel has 600, which is still pretty low. If we look at some other tanks,
well, I'm kind of looking for a formation where I would really boost the potential of commanders individually. For example, Robb Stark with his 80% heal bonus. If you are going with Jeanne and Sansa, it just makes sense to bring Robb Stark as well.
Oh, if you run a very high leveled healer such as Sansa, one of the best things you can do is get that heal bonus, because in some cases, Sansa's heal ability, just at the base, at her gold level base, is over 16,000 health in one go.
Yeah.
Now, while her strategy is already at 1,000, so you only get an extra 15% from Jeanne's ability, 15% of the 15,000 is another 2,000 heal, so you're talking 17,000. With Rob's bonus of 86%, you're looking at 30,000 heal in one go, which is the majority of his hit points.
Okay, when it comes to 6th position, I'm just worried because I don't know if Russell will survive long enough. Because I actually never took Russell to the Weirwood. What I want to do is actually beat this one with a very out of the ordinary formation where we just focus on what the buffs would do and benefit those commanders. I'm kind of looking at Lord Command. Why did you get Sansa to gold? Because she is an amazing frontline in the Weirwood. And that works really better when she's gold. I see a lot of fights where she would die if she would be blue.
A lot of people get it as a blue because it's easy. You basically got it to blue for free. But any commander at gold is, of course, better. And Sansa is... Well, she's the reason I got so far in the Weirwood in the first place. A surprisingly tanky character with a self-heal and a heal ability. Just getting her to gold increases her base stats by a lot. You want her to... When she's at gold, her damage actually matters. At blue, she can heal quite well. She has some defense, but the damage she does is completely negligible.
Wait,
Get her to gold, and while it's not large, you can still see the damage.
I kind of want to talk about what Coach is saying right now. She doesn't change when in blue. I'm not gonna make it with Russell, by the way. He's gonna die right away. Live, fool. No, he can't make it with Russell. If a commander upgrades in quality and level, both affect their. How's your Russell? What's his level and his quality? Gold, right?
Mine's 60 gold, yeah.
Okay, because you said earlier that you had less strategy than me. You were talking about 240 or something.
Yeah, my Russell strategy is 254.
Mine is 266.
Yep. That's because the last item I currently don't have, Faceless Man Bottle of Poison, is adds 12 strategy. I currently don't have them fully upgraded yet.
Okay, your Jeanne is level 60? Is gold?
Jeanne is 60 in gold, yes, as well.
Damn it. I mean Sansa.
My Sansa is still purple. Nearly got it to gold.
Okay, she's 60.
Right now, yeah, she's 60 purple. I'll just go over the stats so you can see the difference. My Sansa's attack is 3,854. Should be pointed out this is with all the items as well. So the difference now is just
400.
purple to gold. So attack is 3,854. And yours?
4,260.
That's 400 extra attack. Her health is 30,500.
Mine is 34,378. 87.
So that's 4,000 extra attack health just by upgrading. Her defense is 6,200.
6,900.
Again, 700 extra defense. And you also see the same thing in the skills. Whereas the Lady of Winterfell restores 17,700 health for me.
17,749.
Okay, never mind, that's the same.
So that's her heal. But it was about putting her as frontline, which is definitely a lot better at gold. With the added
4,000 extra hit points alone and 700 extra defense can probably last another hit or two. Sansa is the healing class. I wouldn't really necessarily class Jeanne herself as a healer. I'd class her more as a buff character because while she does heal, the heals for tanks are quite negligible. Well, every 5 attacks, Jeanne can heal 6,000 health to the most damaged player, the most damaged character, uh, compared to Sansa's ability, where you can heal nearly 20,000, and that's to everybody. There's quite a difference in healing. Ginny's a more support focused general help, whereas Sansa's just the healer of the game.
I kind of want to rush back to something before we lose the question. I had a question from B-Mob. Is there a point playing in an alliance that doesn't have a bank, or should I change alliance? And I kind of want to wonder. Depends a little bit on the stage of you, of your castle right now in the game. If you are really at the point of unlocking T4, etc., that's when you need tons and tons and tons of resources. Also, when you want to, when you unlock the T4, when you want to do the last army defense research, etc. If you don't have any gold, you just have to beg it from the alliance or just have to farm it, and it would just stop your growth entirely when it comes to research. So if you are somewhere near that point and you don't have any goods banked or have no chance to bank anything, I think you are made a mistake somewhere along the line when it comes to saving money, because when you're small, you can gather and save money much better than when you're big. What's your opinion?
I should point out that just for unlocking, it's even with an active alliance, you won't have a problem. People gathering is telling you an extra million here and there, plus the times themselves, which I think are the main constraint when it comes to researching. Researching tier 4s, I mean, you don't need a bank. A bank can be very useful for the growth of an alliance. It's the way for smaller players to sort of continually save, and for the bigger players to save what they're not currently using. It's also a very good place to deposit resources in the case of going to an attack. You don't want to be walking around with 30 million gold in case you get attacked back and lose it. I think the question comes from a bank, or at least a useful bank, is normally the hallmark of a well-run alliance, because it's developed to help the players. It's something to help the players. It's used to accelerate, to help with combat, to make the alliance stronger itself. What you need to ask yourself, rather than is there a bank or not, is this alliance well run? Do I have a Discord? Do I meet up with friends in the alliance? Do we do well in AC? Are there a lot of gifts every day? Those are the main things to look at. A bank is sort of an indication, but it shouldn't be a make or break.
Well, it's kind of perfect what he says about that. If you don't have a bank, and if you don't perform any, well, you just look at the overall picture. Do you have a bank? Is there, when you have surplus goods, do you have a place to store it? All these basic things, are they organized or not? If you don't have that, if you don't have the, what Fringlish said, if you don't have any growth, always change alliance. Or get that alliance yourself into a position that it starts performing better, that it starts getting really serious about hitting your rebel leaders. And especially, well, it kind of depends, because if you're in Kingdom 31 and you don't have a bank, then you're going to be in crazy problems if someone gets wounded, or to recover after battles, etc. And then you'll find contribution is not for your own growth, but is actually mandatory for the growth of the entire alliance.
Especially in sort of the heavy combat alliances, the bank in 100 Kings, I'm sure it's pretty much the same for you now. Nearly everybody has tier 4, even the free-to-play players. So what the bank is used for is when a big player makes a mistake, or we're fighting very hard over a city and someone loses millions of tier 4. The bank is there to help replenish the losses, so your big hitters can still stay active and still help the alliance. If your alliance is doing every AC, you have 40 to 50 members at least. If during Kingdom versus Kingdom, you're normally in the top 1, 2, or 3 of your server. if every castle siege you're taking the castles you want, there's communication. If you have an active Discord, those are all things to look for. Also, do you get more than 150 to 200 presents a day from your alliance? Then, later on, if you're getting all those things, your alliance naturally sort of gravitates towards having a bank. Because it's a tool that's used to help do those other things. So if your alliance doesn't have a bank, first of all, look, does it have everything else? If it has everything else, you could offer to become sort of run the bank. If you're trusted by your alliance, then you can help your alliance grow. You can become more invested in it. But if it doesn't do those things in the first place, a bank doesn't really help you that much. And therefore, some smaller alliances don't have it. It's up to you whether or not you want to change alliance. I don't think I'll ever change from 100 kings because I've been there for nearly a year.
I hate Russell.
Yeah. You're just coming back with it now.
Yeah, it's not working at all. Well, he has plenty of sustain, but he doesn't bring any control.
No, in the Weirwood, I normally use stuns as much as I can. My front row is a stun to Gorel, Chris, and Rob for the triple stun. Or the triple directed stun. Russell, what I found is better for is attacking horses, mainly, on the map. His sustain is very good. You can have a single tank without having to use Sansa in the back or the front, allowing you to put 5 damage dealers with him. Or 4 damage dealers and Jeanne.
Oh. If you hear some galloping and exploding and screaming in the background, those are my cats. And I still wonder why I have 2 now. Because my life hasn't become better from it.
Okay, so we got a question from Chen B. We may have another question before. I'm not sure how many we've done, Reaper. Can you please explain to me what happens when you're being rallied and you teleport away? What happens when they begin to march and they teleport again?
That is pretty much the stupidest thing you can do. Stupid.
If you teleport away once the rally has started marching, it will instantly hit you. Then the troops will start walking back straight away. There is no escape once a rally is sent. You want to teleport away before it's sent, or wait until it hits, then teleport away. You should never teleport once you get away, because if you teleport when the rally is sent, they'll know your new location as well.
Yep.
Which isn't a lot of fun. You would have to teleport a couple of times just to stay safe. So if you see the rally coming, let it hit, then teleport away. Yeah, Russell really is not helping there.
Nothing at all. Kill her! Kill her! Oh, close. Well, there is a way he can hold. The problem is I was focusing on his side, and then actually I managed to get far. No, he doesn't bring anything. It is possible, but I have to do it. Jesus Christ.
You have to do Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of people getting really stressed out when they get rallied. And, for example, when you're in Kingdom versus Kingdom, you always make sure you don't... If you're not strong enough, you never unbubble if you can't jump to the other kingdom. Because the other kingdom is actually the place you can get safe. That's the only way to escape a rally. And I have also seen a lot of people actually jump away and instantly get murdered by a rally. If the rally is on you, they know your location. If you hold lords, the people who hold the lords can know your location. If they know your location, they can just keep going. And if you teleport away while the rally is on you, you always make sure you're as far away as possible. So you can actually... Well, hopefully, if the rally takes 5 minutes and they don't have speed ups, you usually, sometimes, are able to bubble before the rally hits. But you can't know for sure if they are actually capable of speeding it up.
That's the same as what Valis said. A very good point. Just before they send the troops, if you suspect a rally is using, teleport to the opposite end of the map. If the rally keeps on going, you normally have time to bubble before it lands. And Command says, what about if you rally is marching, you teleport and then teleport again? While it's true that they won't follow you all the way, for the second one, you've had to use 2 teleports instead of 1 to be safe, so you're doubling your cost. But also, you still get hit immediately, and chances are, for most players, a rally will steal your lord. And all that they have to do is release the lord, follow it back, and they know exactly where you are again. You will get hurt. Some of the best things you can do is just wait until the rally hits. The time it takes for the rally to get hit is time when your fervor is running down. If you teleport away, their rally hits instantly, so you don't get that extra time.
I hate this set. I think he used a shield. I see a question. Is the oath set best when you're defending yourself from attack? Well, definitely that is true. But if you invested so much that the oath set becomes useful, I think you have another problem.
It's also debatable. Of the best equipment to have is the equipment that buffs your troops, whether it be attack, defense, or health. It's not like in attack you only use your attack stat, and in defense you only use your defense stat. It is a mix of everything. Whenever you're fighting, the thing is that the oath set with the fortifications attack bonus and the wall defense. I don't know a player. Just a button here if you know one of them, Reaper.
Yeah.
I don't know a player that has a decent wall, because walls are just generally garbage. Even at max level, they don't do as much as a fully equipped army.
And the problem is it's so little times that you use your wall only when you get attacked, and either you get zeroed or you're strong enough. And if you're strong enough, then you probably have already everything at max. Because the most players who get attacked are actually making sure the army is either small enough to be able to join a rally without taking hits themselves, or making sure the army is big enough to actually take the hits and defend themselves, and they actually rather use their infantry front line or their cavalry spearmen front line than their wall, because the wall doesn't add anything. Because if you have 6 million or 12 million troops, something like that, you have sufficient defense, and whatever the wall does, if someone is capable of hitting you when you with your 6 million troops, that wall's going to be just a whisper of a second, and it's gone.
Now, it's possible that with a full oath set, with a full talent setup, with every research done on the wall completely finished, with the right 5 commanders on the wall, the wall could be sort of useful. But then you also can't use the extra total attack buffs. You can't use your total defense buffs. The buffs from the castle skin, from the troop skins, you're missing out on about 100% extra buffs just from that. If you set up all the badges and all that, you could conceivably turtle. But the problem is, after one attack, your wall is going down. It may have helped you to win, but your wall is now down. What are you going to do for the next 5 days when it's repairing? Unless you speed it up. And you can't attack back. In the game, the best defense is a good attack.
Yeah.
You want to keep them pinned inside your cities. You don't want to invite them in.
Plus, I see the set gives cavalry defense, infantry defense, spearman defense. It's usually only one of these 3 is defending, so the other sets are completely useless. It's. I think any other set, the new Lord set can help you more.
It just depends. You're better off just having more attack for your troops. I would say even bowman attack could help you more than having a good wall. Yeah. Because then you just deal more damage. I mean, the enemy troops can't destroy your city if they're already dead.
I am a very big fan of the Sunspear set. I know the bowman defense, but it just buffs the right troops for me, because I am infantry and spearmen. That's just my most favorite troops, And it does everything for these troops. It gives a decent boost in attack. So I'm actually focusing on them. And I'm trying to get them to gold. Which might take a while. I have some legendary pieces already.
Whereas I'm more enamored with the Frost set itself. The Spearman attack, the Cavalry health, the Spearman health, Cavalry attack. So the Spearman Cavalry combo, which is favoured by a lot more free-to-play players because it's one you unlock a lot earlier. But I'm definitely sort of more of a Frost set. I think that sort of a mix, the Sun Spear and the Frost are probably some of the best sets out there for easy-to-get combat bonuses.
Yeah, hardtech. I heard it a lot. Well, what can I say? Make sure that new players find this channel so they don't make the mistakes you do. Well, I must say, when I started out, we just did garbage. We just had Eric and Fringlish. And
I wasn't garbage. I was polished garbage.
there was no guides whatsoever. And
I know. We had a weekly stream where I spent. Well, no, in fact we did a couple of days a week stream. I spent maybe 4 hours trawling through the forums, everybody's posts, and 90% of it was, as you rightly put, Reaper, garbage. We didn't know anything. We thought at the start that bowmen were a good unit. We seriously considered making bowmen heavy armies because that's what the stats were telling us.
Yeah.
We know a lot more now, though.
I don't want to say all bad things about Russell here, by the way, because I love to use him in the training ground.
Russell is not a Weirwood hero. He doesn't have the skills you need, and in Weirwood, skills are extremely important. Skills are what can tip the battle one way or the other. Where Russell shines is the fact that Russell is a semi-autonomous self-healing tank. His sustain, when skills aren't directed towards him, his sustain when things are relatively even, is, I think, nearly second to none. Maybe Chris can sort of balance it out with his extra defense buffs, but the problem is Chris is an infantry hero. So Russell has the innate advantage there from cavalry to infantry, making him stronger in the matchup. So Russell is a self-sustaining, self-healing tank. But in the Weirwood, you want a tank that can also do something else. You don't want him just to survive. You need him to cripple the enemy. You need him to stun the enemy. You need him to hold the enemy in place. You need him to heal or buff everybody else. Chris, for example, buffs everybody's defenses, making all your people tankier in the Weirwood. Whereas Russell is just too self-absorbed, I say? Egocentric?
Yeah, I'm trying.
He's too individual.
Trying to find a use for Mango, by the way, because he said Mango is so popular. Well, I like him for rebel leaders, and that's pretty much everything.
Yeah, no, I only use him for rebel leaders as well.
Kind of wondering.
Well, it's very nice to know. Thank you, Hardtake Singh, about apparently all the new players come to have a look at us here. We make the mistake, so you don't have to.
Yeah, we screw up 1,000 times.
Also, if you're a brand new player, you want to sort of stay at castle level 17 for a little bit, because that's when you start unlocking easy Tyrion medals. You conceivably, if you spend time at 17, unlock all the researches you can, or the basic ones. Unlock the researches in expedition pacification, unlock the researches in gathering, and unlock the researches in military, all the ones you will need for tier 4, and you build all your buildings up to 17 in the entire city, you could conceivably get Tyrion to maybe blue before going to castle 18, and that's without slowing down your growth a lot. That's something I really wish I knew before I got to... I think I got to castle level 24 before I got my first Tyrion medal. Because, of course, for the first 3 months, we didn't have Tyrion. Tyrion did not exist.
Ah, Alice, why are you always stronger than me?
Oh, you can never win on stream. It is a curse.
I just won 3 in a row, but they were all... I basically just countered their formation with the same formation. But this is the stupid Marjorie bullshit.
And there we have the Bane. Okay, Velius puts Mengo in training grounds behind Gorel when there are cav buffs. It depends on how you want to use it, because in training grounds sometimes you want to counter the counter of your tank with the back row. So putting him behind Gorel works wonders, because Gorel would often be attacked by an infantry hero, and Mengo with his high attack or dealing damage would rip through an infantry tank. So you should be able to kill the infantry tank before Gorel gets down. So that's why he can be very useful. But yeah, and Jane's Erling's asking, wait, what is the best way to get Tyrion medals? Okay, there's a best way and the easiest way, Reaper, wouldn't you say, to get Tyrion medals? The easiest way is with elite trials.
Yeah, well, that's gonna take a long time though. There's just 10 medals per month.
It's true. It takes a very, very long time, but you can get those medals for free. The only other real way to get the Tyrion medals is via elite and normal events. Again, this is another actually view of an active alliance. If your alliance is very active, normally they have a Discord server. Nearly every alliance I know of has a Discord server, and you often have people who ping you, which is get your attention whenever a Tyrion is up. This will help you get it as much as possible. Now, there are two sort of different levels of Tyrion medals. There's an event where you get 1 medal, and there's an event where you get 2. The daily event, sometimes you can get 3. The event where you get 1 medal is quite often troop creation, and at level 6 is 187,000, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Just a sample here, my Discord. We always get, every Tyrion will be announced to everyone. And whatever you do, if you have speed ups, when you do a research, just wait using the speed ups. As soon as somebody pops here, a Tyrion, especially the tiny Tyrions are easy, you finish the research and you take the Tyrion medal. That's basically how it works. So get this, as you can see, it's Tyrion Tracker channel. Just as simple as that. Just make sure your Discord has the channel. Make sure somebody yells it at you whenever it comes up. And that's pretty much it. And I think in N3O, most people have him at gold right now.
It can be quite expensive. I mean, the research for 2 Tyrion medals is about 800,000 points of research. But bear in mind, at higher levels, that's 1 level of research. There are research that are worth millions of points at once. So quite often what you want to do is start a big research, wait until there's a Tyrion medal, then finish it then.
Russell.
You just sound like you've had an epiphany.
Russell did me right and murdered Alice for me. Somebody said put Gora in the middle slot, and then I needed something to defend against Kevin. Just put Tyrion there just to win.
Gorel actually is a lovely one in the middle, because when he dies, he damages everybody else around him. So by having Gorel in the middle, he damages nearly every other opposing hero when he dies.
Boom! Oh my god, I'm just beating the pay-to-win commander here. I kind of want to see this battle. You always have the buffs, like some commands are buffed. In this case, I think cavalry commands, so that helps also out, of course. You can't really anticipate on that on defending. I can check after this what it would be a very good defending formation. So Corel dies, and I think he heals everyone as well, isn't it? Why is there no pulse? I can't see it here. Anyway, they shoot him dead. The thing is, if you use archers, the greatest benefit of using archers is before they start attacking the archers, they really kill all your frontline first. And often they have to walk from the bottom side to the top side to get to the last tank, which gives you a few very vital seconds for your archers to start sniping, to have some extra time, you know? And that's why I always love it as well, just to have some archers. Like now I'm using 3 archers and it's really successful. Because for example, not really a good example right now, but if they would have no archers, so they have Arya or any other infantry like a Julian we had before, if Rob is the only one alive, and Tion would be Julian. Julian has to walk all the way to Rob, which just takes a few seconds, and then your archer can keep shooting. That also just a very good winning combination here. Let's try this right away, by the way. Oh, Nor. My bane.
It also works very well against some sort of area of effect attacks, such as Chris's stun. Often, because it's automatically used in the training grounds, Chris's stun bubble ability will not hit archers if you're using them at back row, because the archers just stay back there out of range.
Oh.
And there should be the Tyrion tracker channel. We don't have one on the Forgotten Games Discord. It's I have one on the 100 Kings Discord, and Reaper has one in his Alliance Discord.
Yeah, there's entry of Discord, sorry.
Yeah, most alliances have one. The Discord for Kingdom 34 as well has a Tyrion tracker. So it just depends. See if you can find a Discord for your either server or your alliance, and quite often they have notifications there.
I don't know if it's smart to put it on the Forgotten Games. I think that's...
We have so much stuff there already, and it's not just about Game of Thrones, so
Okay,
it probably would just be annoying for people.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm done. I'm done with the training. I can't beat Tweety. Tweety is like God. Okay, so Russell actually did performed incredibly well there in the training grounds, consistently. Ah, spammered. Very well. So yeah, the main selection are really nice. I just only go for the ancient holes, and then hopefully, 4 months, and then I'll start getting my first epic of legendary items here. So kind of back to the commanders.
Back to sort of the main topic, the skills of the commanders.
Is Zeno still here? Because he had a lot of questions about clearing. Can you talk about where you are right now, and if you have problems with certain stages that we can help you out? If you're still here. Obviously the Russell thing didn't work, but of course there's no problem if I want to beat him. The stun formations always work. So one of the better commands is Kravras. He has an incredibly, relatively fast reloading stun. And normally you would bring Gorel with his crowd control. It's a bit hard in this formation. We'll just use him for crowd control. And Russell, of course, has to go.
Yeah, Kravas' main advantage is he just wipes the board. After a bit of combat, any of those stragglers, those small troops, which, to be honest, those small troops are just to draw your attention away from the boss, to stop you from ganging up on the boss. Kravas is an amazing board wipe.
Okay, let's take a serious formation right now. I like to use Vice. People don't really use him a lot, but he boosts defense as well, and he has a nice splash damage. And so it's basically just to weaken an entire wave. So
I did look at Feus. The reason why I don't use him is more opportunity cost. In order to get him to gold, I would have had to neglect someone else who was a bit more important, such as Jeanne or Sheila. So he's still blue to me.
Oh my god, my cat. Where is my healer? I forgot my healer.
But his ability, Crone's Wisdom, at high level is very good, even for just the resistance. Now, it's not a lot, but it will enable you... The resistance, or the resistance buff, the resistance itself. What that does is it basically limits any effect on you. So a 20% resistance, resistance of self reduces stuns by 20%. Reduces damage effects by 20%, reduces poison by 20%, which is a surprising amount when you get down to it.
Romina only responds when she hears my cat. She talks cat.
That does not surprise me. I'm going to say that, yeah, that does not surprise me. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, first stun up.
Chenby, at what point do you stop farming for Old Town students? I'm not sure about you, Reaper. I mean, I don't... if I get those chests that allow me to choose an item, I don't get the Maester Scrolls anymore because combat's a bit more important. But every time Old Town students come out on the map, I hit them.
Yeah.
I still farm them manually. I just don't focus them anymore. After you get tier 4, I don't focus them.
Okay, I got him on the first time. Don't want to talk about it.
And Hutton Singh saying, I'm surprised my favourite Obin hasn't been mentioned yet. Yeah, Obin, the surprising damage dealer.
Yeah, in the training cards. I don't know. I haven't really used them. So this one is still considered the most difficult one. Can we do that? Can we bring a Obin in here? Probably. It is not really a problem in this Weirwood actually to clear the wave per se, because you often get the sides down very fast, and then you're only focused with one very high damage dealing commander in the middle you need to control. That's always the problem with the Weirwood. So yes, I could bring Obin, that's no problem. I love Sheila in the Weirwood, by the way, because of the snipes. He can just insta-kill one of the backline commanders. Now we counter nothing, which is not really the most ideal way. And probably want to put you here, because Gorel is pretty much one of the tankiest commanders you can imagine. And bring a Chris maybe for his AoE turn. It's going to be pretty easy probably with this command. Could fail, could fail. I have
Chris
Chris
is probably
here.
a good addition here. Yeah. Chris is probably a very good addition with Gorel, because while Gorel is extremely tanky on his own, one of Chris's abilities is to buff the defense of everybody.
By the way, did you see
Bit more
this?
defense, never has a miss.
I'm 1 second in the game and Obin can already shoot once. His first shot is not that fast. It's not that strong. Okay, wait for the stun on Sansa. Wait. Oh, she's already... sorry. I waited too long. Don't want to talk about that part. Funny. I kind of want to do this again. I said wait, and the stun was already off. So you always want to look at the little symbol on the commanders, on the enemy commander, the stun symbol. And just before it gets out, you want to refresh it. That's the whole idea of the stun combination.
I have to say, what is surprising with Obin himself, because Obin is, well, he's a damage dealer. He is primarily a damage dealer bow. However, his strategy is fairly low compared to other bows or equivalent. For example, Sheila's strategy is nearly 900, whereas Obin's, well, for me, is stuck at about 700. So he gets an added bonus from combining him with Jeanne, for example.
Ah, she healed it. Okay, I'm just gonna let my cat talk for a second. I'm gonna put my cat outside because she's making so much noise. You wanna go outside?
Now, last time I checked, this is you know, for everybody else, last time I had a look at Reaper's cats. He had 4 of them, and then he said he was getting rid of them, or he was giving some of them away, and he said he'd only keep 1. Now I think he has 2. So I'm not sure whether he decided not to get rid of them or if he just continues to pick up new cats because he can't help himself.
Peace on earth.
Oh, I'll figure it out, viewers, and I'll tell you.
No, I didn't want to change. I want to do it with the... I'm back, by the way. Did you miss me?
Yeah, I suppose. Well, you're supposed to say yes in that situation, aren't you?
True. Are you actually stuck
Yeah.
in... Oh, the other cat. Never mind. Okay. Obin? Shoot. Kill her this time. Heal. Stun. Okay, so this is easy. Then we wait for the stun. We're gonna do Kraveras first. And we're gonna probably... I think Sansa died last time. Okay, let's kill this patrol trooper. And then get a nice 4 stun here. Okay. Sansa's safe. Okay, it's pretty easy like this. Now, I just have to keep her stunned, else he dies as well. And I don't know if I can. Okay, easy. Okay.
Yeah, Sansa's quite tricky just because of the added bonus and the fact she can keep her sort of allies alive for longer. But once you get her on her own, it's pretty much a guaranteed victory against Sansa.
Yep.
The annoying thing is where normally with a couple of big abilities from your heroes, you can clear a couple of extra lines. This reduces the enemy's damage output by quite a bit, amongst other things. But with Sansa, she just heals them, so you really have to work at it.
64. I have no use for my Spirit of the Weirwood trees anymore. All my commands are gold, even Robert. Talking about Robert, since we're facing Robert, let's use Robert.
I can't argue with the logic in that.
Yeah. The Robert is useless. It's such I have tried every possible thing when I was making Commander of the Week, which I forgot last week, I think. Okay, I forgot for 2 weeks.
Robert is sort of the joke hero in most locations. Wait, didn't I voice Robert when we did him?
Could be, yes.
Yeah, Wildfire. Robert is sort of the joke commander. He was always the one that everybody kept at level 59 in order to get the daily bonus of feeding a hero. That was just what you did. Robert was grey. There was no reason to upgrade him. Because while his stats may not seem bad in on themselves, his abilities just leave something to be desired. There's always a better option than Robert. I think that was the problem.
Yeah.
Like Robert is a passable buffer. He's a passable area attack dealer. He's a passable single damage dealer. He's a passable back row sniper. But he's not good at anything, and there's always a better option for him.
Okay, last time Chris died, so I might try to learn from that. So, this is his line attack, which is not that bad. Because it does burn damage over time, and it does pretty much. Can I hit him on 2? For example, let's hit him on that one. They die pretty hard over time. I don't know what happened, but my whole screen was tilting.
And yeah, the problem with that with Robert, sure, his air attack does it in the line, and the troops die over time. But if you replace Robert with, say, Soren,
Ready?
the troops die instantly in the line.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah. For example, you don't want a skill that takes 5 seconds because you probably kill that troop within 2 seconds and just lose all the damage. I have no idea what I did wrong.
And if you want to use it efficiently, you're going to be dealing damage. Then you're going to try and not deal damage to it. And it seems stupid to purposely not deal damage to something so the final skill will kill it.
Yes.
I mean, at that point, you're just doing it for style points. Scully 37, for a free-to-play player, what would you recommend spending the Westeros pass coins on, considering you don't get that many of them? Scully, as you know, I am probably the king of free-to-play players, having played for over a year and haven't even spent $1. I haven't even got gifted a pack. That's how free-to-play I am. I haven't spent any of these coins yet. I haven't spent any of the pass coins. What I do with the pass coins, or what I plan on doing, is basically save them up as much as possible, and then I'll upgrade a commander. I'll use them for commander medals. It's really the only thing that makes sense out of the lot of them, because you can't get the commander medals anywhere else. But again, I'll just decide whether I want to finish Barrett or whether I want to finish Obene, or which one's more important for my formations. What I do is I get the commanders up to blue, as you do by doing the passes a couple of seasons, and then you play about with them in formation, so you figure out which one will be the most use to you. In my case, it will probably be Barrett, so I'll look to get them hit Barrett's medals in the future.
I would always go for the commands indeed. And I'm actually going for the... no, I've completed these as well. Now the Westeros pass, I normally would go for the troop appearance because they're like one of the... In the end, I think troop appearances, I'm going to check that later. Okay, I'm actually going to check that now because I'm done with this.
Yeah, okay, commanders are always one of the best ones. Not only do they have passive bonuses, but they help you attacking horses, on alliance trials, on elite trials, on attacking training grounds. Commanders are always a useful thing. And the other passes, the other bonuses you get from the Westeros pass from the shop, just aren't necessary. You can get them other ways. The honor banners, you should be getting them every day with diamonds. The House Reed Spearmen, that could be something, sort of the troop locations could be interesting as well, but I've seen other ways to get those. The legendary friendship chests are just too expensive for a free-to-play player. You'd spend all the coins you get per month just to buy one. And forget the Spirit of the Weirwood and the 3 hours training and speed up. It's just not worth it.
Yeah. I always buy the Westeros pass, of course, but troop appearances are a passive bonus that just keeps giving. So it's actually, I've seen, for example, when Kinnison attacked me, she has so much bonus from the troop appearance, like increase defense, increase this, and increase that. These troop appearances are like incredibly good boosts for your troops. So if you don't go for a commander, always try to make sure at least get those troop appearances next. And for example, the Botley Bowman are currently in the thingy, and you were like, oh, Bowman, so bad. But only his first skill is Bowman attack. Then you have siege attack reduction, and especially at legendary, enemy army attack reduction 6%, rallied size expansion temp. So these are all buffs. You don't have to equip them. They always apply to your castle, to your stats. All these collection bonuses, they always apply. So that's what the great thing about troop appearances.
It's the same thing otherwise for the House Reed and the Northern Cavalry. The House Reed Spearmen, once you get them to full level purple, they have 14% Spearman attack, and that is a permanent buff.
Yeah.
Not to mention rally size expansion. The Northern Cavalry increase your rallied marching speed by 10%. Now, there are other ways to get these, so you're not just limited to the Westeros Pass. Although it could be a toss-up to decide. As a free-to-play player, I recommend keep your coins, keep your pass coins, and then save up until you can buy something to gold when you decide on a strategy. If you decide to go very spearman heavy, then buy loads of House Reed Spearman medals, because it will help you all the time. If you need an attack infantry commander, you seem to be struggling against spearman commanders, well, in that case, unlock Barrett. If you want just a general damage dealer, if you want to deal more damage in the elite trials, if you need just that little bonus, well, then spend it on Obene, and so on. But the way I look at every resource, for free-to-play players this is especially true, every resource you have, be it diamonds, be it alliance coins, be it pass coins, when they're in that stage, the base stage, they can effectively be anything. But the second you buy something with them, that's it, they're locked in. Yeah. You can't change your mind after that. So always try and keep as much as you can in the base form, and only use when it's an advantage.
Yeah, and as you can see for my elite trials, this run I already bought 26 Riverlands Bandits, also Bowman, but that's why I'm going for now, because they for all the of course go for first for the Tyrions, but then also if I get this one at max, I will get 5% hospital capacity. Siege attack reduction as well, and increase health for all relic troops 6%. So just trying to unlock all the things. Dornish Spearman, you talked about, Velis. Why am I clicking next to the screen? I have a little bit of it. I would probably, if I had them purple, I would go for these rather than the House Reach Spearman, just as active. This one also gives like the 14%. No, this one gives 10% Spearman attack, 4% health. I'm kind of not sure where I got them from, actually.
It depends on what you go for the Spearman. If you're looking for a sort of a large rally, if you're a rally leader, then the Dornish Spearmen are better, because they increase defense, they increase defense for the entire rally. You have a bit of better health defense, and you have rally size expansion. But if you're more of a solo attacker or a smaller player, then the House Reed Spearmen are probably better, because they give you more overall Spearman attack, and they're better for your army carrying capacity, which can help you gathering. So it depends whether you're a rally leader there.
I'm literally on 199 of feature skills of 200, so I might as well buy some. I always try to...
Hello, Luben.
Lord Command.
Okay, be honest, Iru and Fringlish. Who would win if Iru attacked Fringlish? Iru, you don't have your lord, or Fringlish would have... I think if I had my lord in defense, I would probably win. If you didn't send your lord in attack.
How much troops do you have?
I mean, I only have 2 million. But you could only attack with a certain portion, and with my lord, I get all the lord bonuses and the badges, which you would be missing out on if you didn't send your lord.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to attack without my lord, to be honest.
Any normal attack, he would win, hands down. But if he attacked me without my lord, and I had my lord and all my army back, I might win. Lord does make a stupid difference. I think like 200% attack at least.
It's everything.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining, but I can't choose. Maybe I used all my diamonds now to buy 40 truces. I think it's army. I think I've seen it before. After you leave Army of the Dead.
It happens sometimes whether you leave Army of the Dead, Alliance Conquest. It's a bug that's been in there for a while.
Sorry, I'm pouring a drink.
Damn it! I've just finished my tea. I need a new one.
I have iced tea, so it's like tea. It's the closest I get to tea.
I'll eventually corrupt you. Eventually.
Okay.
That works. Oh, there we go. You finally truced.
Yeah, it works. Okay, so yeah, Weirwood is just done for now. It's still too easy. I hope there's actually a new one coming, a new chapter. Chapter 9. Because I need a challenge. I need a challenge in my life.
Once again, if you're watching this and you're having trouble with the Weirwood before, don't worry. Oh, I thought I still had some Weirwood left. No, I finished it all as well. That's all finished. Anyway, if you're having trouble, don't worry if you're below level 60. The Weirwood is, I'd say, nearly impossible to get unless you have level 60 troops. The difference is just too big. If you still have trouble with level 60, just tell us the stage and we can hopefully show you through it, but wait, just everything will come with time.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get 500 Soren medals, by the way.
Why?
for when he becomes for when they unlock ancient quality of the commanders.
Oh fuck, yeah, I forgot about that.
And then I already have my gold production and research up. By that time I probably have all my research already, but hey. Man must save for something in his life.
Well, no, then they'll bring out a couple more research trees. I mean, do you remember when we started the game, there was only 6 research trees in total.
That's true.
Now there's 10?
Okay.
So yeah, they'll probably bring out more research trees before then.
I have a question from Velis. Okay, Reaper/Fringlish. Here's a question I get from people all the time. What is the optimal number of hospitals versus mints, given that tier 4 troops take such a long time to train?
Ooh.
So I
suppose that...
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, okay. I have switched my entire second field of hospitals, of mints to hospitals, which gives me approximately 500,000 wounded space, which I don't like, but I am very unsatisfied by the training time it takes now to train my troops. I'm really bothered by this because I'm actually starting to make money, even though I'm training at full speed. Of course, I always use all my speed ups for technology, which you should. Oh my god, I can speed this up entirely. But every training I have from normal training speed ups like these, I'm using for just to train royals, cavalry at the moment.
What is your troop speed up?
Yeah, I'm just gonna clear this one so I can start a new one. Fuck it, I'm using diamonds. I'm done with this life. Okay. And I'm just trying to do this all day. And as you can see, it's 6 days right now, but I'm in war gear. So let's switch to, well, not war gear, I suppose.
Oh yes, the opposite of war gear, not war gear. Okay, so what's your training speed? If you start, you'll be able to hover over the little hourglass and tell us what your training speed is like now.
Training speed is 250, and it's been 258. 85. 85? 58. Sorry. So, English. Moeilijk.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I look at when I'm deciding how many mints is the differences you actually get. At 100% training speed, you're cutting the time in half. At 200%, you're cutting it down to 33%. At 300%, you're cutting it down to 25%. So it gets less and less. At 400%, you're cutting it down to 20. So the last 100%, you only get 5. From 200 to 300, you only get 7%. While that can be a long time, I don't think it's worth all that upgrade, especially when I prefer to keep the troops alive in the first place. Personally, I've got pretty much the same as Reaper. I've got 5 mints, give me a 100% boost from that, so cutting the time in half. Then anything else I have from talents, from research, helps reduce it further. Mine's, I think, at 252 or something when I'm in production talents. While that isn't amazing, what that does give me is a hospital capacity of 500,000. For me, that's quite good, because I only have 490,000 tier 4 troops.
Yeah, and also I've taken some massive hits, and usually I lose, well, Kinnison hit, you lose 1 million troops, but tier 3, but usually I don't even lose that many troops. So I can easily house that. When I, for example, a 1 billion player attacks me, I lose 500k tier 3 or something, and they just end up in the hospital, so...
Yeah, I think 5 is a pretty good sort of number to go for. It means you won't have to change an awful lot. While Lubin, your 380% training speed is very impressive, your 380% means you're spending 21% of recruiting. Our 250 means that we're spending 38, 37? So there's really only like an 11% difference.
Well, and keep in mind
15% difference.
What he said before that. He's switching all his mints before Lord of the Lords. He's switching all his hospitals to mints, and after that, before KVK, he's switching everything back to hospitals, which is an incredible amount of resources you use for that. Actually,
it is. It's an awful lot of resources. I'm just thinking to upgrade to a level 25 hospital, you need 14 million wood?
Yeah.
Or was that a mint? And you need it for every single one. That's while it's doable, and while during Lord of Lords it's very good because you also gain all the reconstruction bonuses, it does cost you a lot that way. I'd say as sort of a baseline, 5 mints is a good level to go for. I mean, it does mean that your construction does suffer a bit, but what's better? Constructing stuff 11% quicker, or having to rebuild 200,000 troops because you get hit hard? That's the way I look at it.
And yes, of course, Kingdom 2 is very peaceful, and we don't have to heal much, but I just like, because before the glory, I could just play around a bit because I had nothing to construct. Right now, I'm pretty much constructing all the time, and I'm not speeding it up because I'm using speed up for research. I was out of glory banners. I already have 158 again, so soon I can just start upgrading all the other stuff, the rookery, etc. And it's gonna cost me another week or something, and they'll keep me constructing all the time actually without speeding it up. So I don't have room to rebuild all my mints and rebuild all my hospitals because that's gonna really cut in my research upgrade. Yeah, well, I have to use speed ups for my research for building, which is just, well, entirely unacceptable for me. I just want to research everything. I'm so smart. I just want to Okay, I was hoping for a Tyrion, actually, not gonna lie.
Compensating for something there, Reaper?
What's daily? Daily?
Yeah, I suppose also it should be pointed out, to upgrade any building to level 25, you do need 2,000 diamonds. Doesn't matter what building it is. So to swap over all those mint, you are sinking 30,000 diamonds as well.
You know what I'm doing with
That's
those
quite an
30,000?
investment.
I'm doing
Buying stone?
No, I'm doing an extra level 5 rebel leader for my alliance, so they get maybe an 1 hour speed up. What's my? No, I don't have motivation for another one. We've been doing a lot of. Let's for example, look at this. Look at this. Legendary level 5 rebel leader from Treaty gives 2 days speed up. You see that? What if everyone in your alliance
speed up for everybody in the alliance with?
Imagine if what I've been trying is to get my alliance to hit those level 5s, but they're still so stuck. They rather do 4 of these garbage giving blues. Okay, this one is very nice though. Okay, this one too. But the times I get 10 minutes training from these blues. And I just want them to do level 5s. Just do the level 5s. I don't care if it takes all your motivation. Just do a level 5 for everyone. Nothing can compensate for those 2 days speed up right there.
And think, across the entire alliance of 100 people, that is 200 days. From just one chest, your alliance gets 200 days worth of speed ups.
Yeah. And it's not a rarity, because I posted exactly the same reward earlier today. And I've been recording about 2,000 chests. Okay, this one 12,000 alliance coins, unfortunately. Wood. Let's just do these. I'm gonna regret that later. Bah. Make my shit work. Twitty. Okay, they're not all good. But overall, they're pretty good. Well, you're gonna see the difference when you start opening the normal ones, like 10,000 iron, random transfer, 5,000 wood times 3. See? So overall, for example, you often get the 5,000 from the blues, and for a legendary chest, that's often going to be a 500k or 150k. Here, 1 million wood. So the difference between only the resources 2 is incredibly massive, because this is 1 million wood against what I got from the other one, 15,000 wood, which is about what is it? 0.01%?
It's slightly more than that. I mean, it's only 1,000 in a million, so you don't. It's not quite that bad. But yeah, it's not a lot. It's mainly a percent or 2. You need to do about 60 level 3s to equal a level 4, and that's a level 5, sorry, and that's just in the resources. Even if players work together to get level 5s, if they can do it efficiently, it's quite useful. That sort of comes into a question we had from Hartek Singh. Oh, sorry, Hartek Singh. How do I do better at rebel leaders? Well, that runs into what I consider the most important research tree in the game. Do you agree, Reaper, or do you have a secret favorite that you haven't told me about?
No, I'm opening chest for not focused.
Well, you're not paying attention. Right. Well, what I consider the most important research tree in the game, if you're an alliance-orientated player, if you're invested in your alliance, if you're working towards it, is the expedition and pacification tree. The expedition and pacification tree on its own doesn't give you any bonuses to main combat, but it helps you attack the horses on the map. It increases the damages your heroes deal. It increases their healing ability. It increases their strategy, therefore their effects. It increases how quickly they do it and how many times you can attack. That is probably the most important research tree I find for helping an alliance grow, and it's one to definitely look at. And then Theon Devil is asking, would you ever consider starting again and making a walkthrough without spending money? I think the problem with that is you couldn't really do a simple walkthrough because this game is measured in years,
Yeah.
not just hours. While we could do a beginner tips and trips video, it can easily be done on another one. In fact, I've prepared another completely free-to-play account to start building on it now. Although I think I fucked up and got it castle level 18. I may have to go back and do something, do another one. But it is based in months, if not years, this game. So it's very difficult to do a
Just a
single
minute.
player or free-to-play load up. What do you say, Reaper? Reaper? I think we've lost Reaper. Again. Are you going to get the cat? The second cat? Don't know. Shenby, is there a buff I can use to be better at elite trials? I see players do much better than me. That does depend an awful lot on the heroes. A lot of players will have a lot more heroes. But also the bonuses you get in elite trials, the tokens. It depends what tokens they've gone for. It is possible with a couple of rounds, you get 8, 12 tokens each time, or whatever it is. You can end up with an extra 300% attack on a certain type, or 200% cavalry and 100% bowman extra attack, which would make you rather formidable. And the bigger players are probably spending a lot of diamonds to refresh that. Once Reaper gets back, we can have a look at it and show you where to get those from if you haven't already got them before. And Lubin, it depends on what alliance. Even as you said, even for a very active alliance, you're talking 3 to 4 months to get to tier 4, and that's with spending. For a free-to-play player, it's impossible to get tier 4 that quickly, unless you're in the top alliance in the world. I'd say even if you join one of the best alliances in the world as a free-to-play player, you still need 6 months. And that's not something you can do in a walkthrough, or at least not in a small video. Ah, you back.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we had a question by what's in my face? Jesus, I've already forgotten. I said I only talked about it like 2 minutes ago, and I've already forgotten. Where is it? Oh yeah, Chen B asking if there a buff you can use to be better in elite trials. So I went over the commanders, but could you also show him where you get the bonuses from, sort of the cards?
Whoa. Okay.
The trial bonuses.
I done all already, but you mean from the elite trials?
Yeah, show your sort of combined trial bonuses, all the ones you've picked. As picking these can be very different. A lot of players can spend a lot of diamonds to get the best ones. You want to try and combo it with others. So if you already have a 20% infantry attack, you want to get another infantry card. So your infantry heroes are just that much better. Yep. Having 15% everywhere just doesn't help you as much.
They are very rare, and it can cost you a lot of diamonds, and you just simply can't afford that, especially when you're a smaller player. For example, the Allied Commander's crit chance is absolutely smashing because it applies to all commanders, all types, and I was kind of lucky, but it would easily cost you 2,000-3,000 diamonds, and you just can't spend it on every chest. So, of course, total, applying to all commanders, these are by far the best. And I usually just go for attack and crit chance.
That's what I tend to do as well. And what I do is I spend up to 100 diamonds. The first one costs you 10, the second one 30, and so on and so forth. I go all the way up to when it costs you 100 diamonds, and I choose the best option I get then. Yep. So you want to go for attack and crit chance, generally as much as you can. Obviously, get as high a level as you can. A purple, which is 20%, is worth 4 normals. So the upgrade, the uptick is extremely important. If you see a blue at a low level diamond, if you're a small player, just grab it. Don't try and roll each time for a purple or an epic or a legendary, because it will just cost you too much. But also try and combo them. And the best to go for, again, crit chance and normal attack.
Yeah, and I have also some prowess and different... Yeah, it's always a bit vague to me, the difference between attack and prowess. And Every command.
Okay.
Yeah, you go.
Okay. Are you ready for this? So I can teach you something here.
Go.
Prowess is the basic stats that attack is based out of. So increasing the prowess is increasing the base attack, from which each commander will have their own individual bonuses, malices, and abilities added to in order to create the attack. Attack is a flat base attack. So prowess will increase your base amount, but it isn't affected as much by the strategy and other buffs. So, for example, Sheila, who buffs your attack, will not buff your prowess, and increasing the prowess doesn't give you such a big bonus. Increasing the attack is the fun element and gives you a buff overall, because it also takes into account, it comes after all the other bonuses on top of prowess.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
For example, Russell has 11,000 prowess. Meryl Peak has 20,000. Has 2,000. 1,100 and 2,000. I'm so sorry. Meryl has an attack of 8,000, and Russell has an attack of 4,000. Is it if I boost prowess, which of those two would benefit the most on damage from that boost on prowess?
That would easily be Meryl Peak, because remember again, it's a percentage. So Meryl Peak would gain 25% prowess on top, which would be about 500 prowess, whereas Russell would only get 250 prowess extra.
So let's put that back in Elite Trials. When I have taken the trial bonus, Allied Commanders attack, Allied Cavalry Commanders, no, that was not one. Where's my prowess? Allied Commanders prowess, 25%. I'm actually boosting my damage dealers more than I'm boosting my tank commanders, which would make prowess technically better than if I just would boost flat attack, because a flat attack on a tank would have less benefit than prowess would.
No, because flat attack goes everywhere as well. What flat attack does is it also buffs and boosts. So the combinations you have with heroes. If you look to Sheila, now I know Sheila doesn't work as intended, so we're just going to go with the example that we see on with the written word. Sheila's skill adds 3,114 to attack. This would also get boosted by the attack. It would not get boosted by the prowess buff. So attack is just a little bit better at the base.
Okay, but
because the main reason is that attack is taken into account. The way damage is calculated in the game is attack minus the enemy defense onto the enemy health. So boosting the attack means you do more damage against the defense. Boosting the prowess means you have more attack to do, but it's not quite the same. It's not quite as good. It's still good, and especially if you can get boost attack to everything. But just boosting attack is slightly better.
Okay, because I was thinking, for example, Arslan, he boosts his base attack, but prowess would give him a higher base attack, or not?
Prowess would give him a higher base attack, yes.
So if he has a skill that boosts his base attack, would then prowess not be better because his base attack would be higher? So if he would have a skill that gives him 30% extra attack, wouldn't be prowess better than flat attack?
Again, it's possible with the high level heroes or with specific heroes, but generally, we're talking general bonuses because it applies to all your heroes there. Generally, attack's better. Prowess is better for the very high prowess heroes, such as Aslan, such as, I suppose, Barrett, such as Sorin. You're attacking most heroes, but attack generally is better because of the way the damage is calculated, and so is the combat.
I still think of all the things, crit is the best. Because if you would get all commanders to just always crit, you would do so much more damage.
The advantage of that as well is that crit damage isn't necessarily dependent on the opponent's defense or matchup type. It's true, it can be an awful lot of damage. So you want attack, you want prowess, and crit chance. Crit chance is best if you already have some crit chance. For example, if you can get a 50% boost to crit chance, that's probably better than having a 20% total or 25 getting it here and there. The higher you can get in a certain element, the better it will be, because the bigger the percentage you'll get, rather than getting 15% here, 15% there.
The problem is they do give a critical flat amount. So let's say Meryl has 153 critical, which I can't really in any way calculate to a percentage. But I think that's his... No, it's the ability to hit. Not sure.
Right, finally, shall we go to an easier question now by Theon Devil?
Check my account, you will understand. Oh, wait.
No, should I buy the Royal Pass only if there's a good castle exterior?
Then we have to look at what's currently the castle exterior for a minute. And that's...
the current castle...
me? Oh, you.
The House of the Falcon.
Yeah.
The current castle exterior is the House of the Falcon. And that's not bad at all, because castle exteriors always give you an active bonus with 5% defense, 10% hospital healing speed. Now, the fortification attack is a bit meh. But the main advantage, I think, really, when you're buying the Royal Pass is just the sheer amount of items you can get as well. Level 2, you get an extra 1,000 diamonds, then an extra 3 hours speed up, then 10 more Botley Bowman medals, extra 500 diamonds, and so on. You also get more commander medals. How much is the Westeros Pass? Because I never buy it, but I think you do, Reaper.
Just a tenner. 10 euro, dollar, pound.
Reaper? Oh, yeah.
Did you hear me?
Just 10 euros.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it. So, just getting the Royal Pass will give you an extra... I'm just doing the math, making sure I'm not talking out my ass here. An extra 40 medals for the hero, and an extra 100 medals for the Botley Bowman, maybe a bit less. So you get 100 troop medals and 40 commander medals for 10 euros.
Wait. Do you know you can go to level 80?
By far, and I mean by far, the best value medals you can get anywhere.
Yeah. 1,500. 800.
Yeah, the next best is Seg, where you can get a medal for $1. But here you're getting 4 medals for every $1 at least. So in terms of just commander, even without the bonus from the castle, it's the best.
Yeah, and you get about 5,000 pass coins as well, 4,000 something. If you get to level 80, which is pretty easy. And then you can actually buy so much more on the banners. And if you haven't got the commander, you can finish the commander, etc. So that's extra as well. So. And you can't get pass coins. Do you even get coins? Just 100?
You don't get many. Since the pass coins were introduced, I haven't spent any, and I've only saved up 2,100 pass coins.
300.
You gain about 300 a turn, I think.
Yeah, I see 400.
100, 200. You know, I've got 300, I think.
Well, you can get past level 60, eh? And then you'll find another one at level 75.
Oh, yeah. But it's very difficult to get that high up. Level 75, because you don't have the extra 8 royal missions. For example, I've completed all the missions right now, so I can't get up that high. Level 74 is my cap.
Oh, I can't even see which the royal missions are.
Yeah, you don't get the extra royal missions, which limits you a little bit.
Well, it's free stuff. It's always a problem. What I'm going to do, by the way, and don't let Benny hear it, I'm going next month, entire month, I cannot spend one dime on this game. Because I have to buy a washing machine. So that's going to be really hard for me. Because I already sunk like 6,000 euro in this game.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's why. And I already made sure that at least I can get my seg by having enough info in the Amethyst shop for 7 days. So that should give me enough seg medals. Almost there. And yeah, but it's getting out of control. I spent so much on this game because it's always something. Like, what if I just buy those 2 commanders every day? Just only 2 commanders, but that's already €300 a month. You know, the €10 for 2 commanders at 50. Because every day 2 commanders unlock, and it's already 300. And I'm like, but if I have them at gold, I don't have to spend it anymore. You know, that's how you think. It's so stupid.
Yeah, you are talking to the wrong person because I haven't spent any money.
For example, Kevin, I only need 5 more, so I know I can do this in 3 weeks or something, in 2 weeks. But it's gonna cost you another €50, you know, 40. It's annoying.
A question from Julio. Okay, when there's a Z in front of an H, how the hell do you pronounce that?
Xuliano.
Zuliano. What is noble lords?
If you spend €5,000, you get noble, and I think if you spend 10,000, you get 1 more, and it basically just shows you some VIP information. And you can talk to them, and every time you ask them something, they give you gift codes. That's basically it. Basically, if you have that, you have more problems than you should have. Or more money than you should have.
There is another way to look at it. I mean, I definitely think that if you were to get anything, the Westeros Pass is probably the best deal. The way I look at it is how we've done this analogy before, Reba. How much do you spend on a movie ticket?
16.
€16.
Yeah.
Okay, for argument's sake, I'm going to be easy on myself and say it costs €10 because this is easy on the maths. Now, if it costs you €10 for what? 2 hours of film, 3 hours of film, you're spending €3 to €5 an hour on entertainment, on something you find entertaining.
Yeah.
How much time have you spent on Game of Thrones?
Endless time.
Game of Thrones Winter. You can't say you're not enjoying yourself because otherwise we wouldn't be playing the game.
True.
So getting the Westeros Pass a month, you're spending, what, 10 cents an hour, if that, on your favourites, on just your entertainment, what you find entertaining. So it's not too bad if you think about it that way.
True.
But your spending's still ridiculous.
True. There was a time that I was young and I would party all night and I would spend like 50 to €100 on just drinking alcohol and ruining my body. I mean, it's an upgrade.
Oh god, that does tell you how young you are, because 50 to €100 would get you about halfway through the night nowadays. Seriously, have you seen the price of a pint?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I nearly had a heart attack when I went last time. It was £6 for a pint. For fuck's sake.
Yeah. Maybe it's cheap, I suppose.
So do we have any more questions? We've been streaming for, well, you've been streaming for an hour before this, but we're approaching, we're just over an hour and a half now.
Yeah. So what is, did we ever get quiet? Never in our lives. No, I'm just going to do a guide on Alliance gifts later. I'm just collecting data. I showed you that earlier. And maybe 2 more episodes of the Discord guide, which is, well, it will go automatically. And I think Fringlish will throw in something soon. So that's coming for next week at least. We have some things on the list still that needs to be done.
Oh, we have too many things on the list. Make sure to join the Discord if you haven't already and put any video suggestions you want. I think this entire stream started with a comment of someone. Do you remember who it was again? Xeno something.
Yeah, Xenoxomi. Please guys, I'm dying for more knowledge on Commander Stats Beyond what the first video was explaining.
Yep, ended up doing a comment on the video, on one of our videos, and that caused this entire stream. So I did hope you enjoyed it. It's very nice to be back, I have to say.
Yeah. You're still in France.
Yeah, I'm still in France. I'm probably stuck here for the summer now. Oh, damn Corona.
Did you install telephone lines and everything already?
We have the telephone line has now been fixed. We have a sort of stable internet. Hopefully, as long as nothing goes wrong in the next couple of days, I should be on a lot more.
I can't just imagine living without internet these days.
It was surprisingly peaceful for the first month, and then I started to go mad. The normal-ish. Bonkers.
Oh well.
It got so bad at one point, I found myself cleaning.
Cleaning?
I found myself voluntarily cleaning things that didn't need to be cleaning. I cleaned the outdoor toilet that hadn't been cleaned in years because nobody used it. I still cleaned it.
Are they using it now?
That's how bored I got. No, it doesn't work.
Oh.
It's not really now. It used to be the outdoor toilet. Now it's just a small shed where we keep spades and things in. I still clean the entire thing because I was bored.
Oh boy.
That's what lack of internet does to you, folks.
Oh.
It's not a good time.
I wish I could be bored. I'm just always doing something. Either I'm working or I'm making a guide, and then I'm literally these days I'm gaming for example Civilization or something for 3 hours, and I'm feeling guilty that I'm doing nothing useful. that's how
opposite problems. Because of course you've been worked off your feet with the epidemic going around, because suddenly everybody realised their computers weren't working properly.
Well, we're programming for the medical branch, so they suddenly have a lot more money to spend. It's not bad. But I've been working on design, actually. We had several customers, one sommelier, which is, I don't know if everyone knows what it is. It's just someone who knows everything about wine, who wants an app, and then we had our website needs...
Wait, what did you call it?
Sommelier. Yeah.
Oh God! That you are butchering that French word. Holy crap!
How do you call it?
Sommelier.
A sommelier.
Sommelier.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not quite someone who knows everybody about wine. A sommelier could, for example, be the procurer of wine for a restaurant.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Buys wine and distributes to a restaurant. Yeah. A sommelier.
He has wine bottles of over €1,000, and I'm like, fool. And well, I had to design.
Yeah.
I had to design an app that would appeal to his very rich and very dumb customers, and actually would trigger them into spending tons and tons of money on wine.
That's simple. You put a very sort of a white and gold marble Greek sort of simple design website, and in the one corner you put a banner saying free shipping. Job done.
No, it came with more. I even had to design a VIP logo, etc. And then he would show all the customers. Some are VIP, and they actually buy more and get bonuses, etc. And it must show the others that the others are VIP, because then they get jealous and they want VIP as well. And I was like, what is your customer base? Well, he said they're very rich and very stupid.
Yeah, I need to find a rich and stupid patron.
But in Dutch, it would be sommelier. Actually.
Sommelier.
No,
well, it's a French word, so...
Yeah.
Well, Velos is saying, British, you're already mad. Touche. Fair enough.
Alright, yeah, it's almost 1 a.m. 0 a.m. So,
midnight.
Yeah.
I think it's the word you were looking for.
0 a.m. p.m. Is it 0? It's almost mid.
Yeah,
PM.
It's always... We would just say midnight. I don't think I've ever heard someone say 0 a.m. before, but I shall be using that from now on because it sounds fun. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I do hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for Reaper's amazing content and my well, maybe, coming in the future.
Yes, indeed. Okay, bye.